You're listening to Blast Podcasting, episode 28.
Mortal Kombat review.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Blast Podcasting. This is Xander.
And this is Anthony. How goes it, buddy?
Pretty good. And I really admire the little picture of me right next to you from our Google Hangouts.
And I admired a little picture of me on the thing.
Well, no, go ahead.
No. Just real quick, if we have a quick minute, you want to do a little gaming talk?
Yeah, but I wanted to bring up one thing.
Okay.
You know what they just came out with?
What?
They just brought back Pepsi Blue.
What?
Okay, were you a fan of Pepsi Blue?
I don't think I was. I'm more of a Crystal Pepsi guy, and I was happy when they brought that back.
Yeah, see, I like Crystal Pepsi. I was just not a fan of Pepsi Blue. It tastes too much like medicine to me.
It tasted like Kool-Aid.
Yeah. But what was some of that gaming talk you want to talk about, Anthony?
Oh, real quick, I wanted to see if anyone can identify what I've been playing, because it's kind of a deep cut from the Game Boy library.
Oh, shit.
Deep. You ever heard of Hyankyo Alien?
No.
Okay, Hyankyo Alien is a game that originated from 1979. It was made it has a kind of a similar origin to Tetris, where it was made in the government's computer facility.
Mm-hmm.
But then Sega licensed it as an arcade game because, Japan's not communist. And unlike, Russia, where it was a big old mess, the Tetris story.
Yeah.
And then there was a Game Boy port. And what's interesting about it, from my perspective, is when I got my Game Boy, I got that along with my Game Boy in the Tetris pack. Now everyone would think, oh, you get two games back in '91 when you got your Game Boy. Would be what, Mario Land and goddamn fucking Tetris, right?
Yeah.
Well, I got Tetris obviously, and I would get Mario Land like a month later, but it was really I got Hyankyo Alien. And Hyankyo Alien basically is a maze chase game. And basically you dig holes, and it predates Lode Runner in all these games. Even predates Pac-Man.
Oh, wow.
And the concept is you're in Hyankyo, which is the former name of Kyoto when it was the capital of Japan in feudal times. You play a police officer in that, and there's an alien invasion. So the only way you can defeat them is digging holes, and the aliens go in. So you got to dig these holes, and you dig them up, and it's a lot of fun.
So you really dig it, huh?
Oh, I dig it. Yeah, I dig it. But here's the thing. When I got the game, I didn't know what the hell it was because, one, they called it Hyankyo Alien. I was, 91?
Yeah.
30 years ago. Shit. That's how old I am. And the funny thing about Hyankyo Alien that's hilarious is that they didn't change the name for Americanization like they did in those times for everything, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Number two, the box art. I kind of disturbed me because I didn't know what the fuck it was. It was wood, the Japanese wood block art.
Uh-huh.
It was a red wood block art. And it was just, it wasn't anime or anything colorful. It was just this red thing, and it was like an ugly-looking alien, almost an Oni-like thing that you would see from Japanese art. So when I got this game, I didn't know why my mother got it for me. I still don't know why they chose that game because of the box art. It's just so fucking weird. But it's a good game. And what's funny is it comes with a remake of it, and then it comes with the original version.
So it came out on the Game Boy, and was the remake like the Game Boy version?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay.
Because the original was basically, if you play the original version in the Game Boy port, it looks like the original. It's just basically square houses, and then you're a little stick man, and then the aliens are kind of like little blobs with feet.
Oh.
But in the Game Boy, but if you play the remake, they're animated, so the aliens actually look like aliens, and then the motherfucking guy looks like he's from feudal Japan.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a deep cut.
Huh. Yeah, I was going to say, the one game, talking about the Game Boy, one game that I remember playing that it was really weird. It was like a first-person shooter on the Game Boy, but you shot smiley faces.
What?
I cannot remember the name of it, but it's like almost like a fever dream. I know this is a real game. I've seen footage of it. I played it when I was a kid, but I cannot remember the name. But it was a first-person shooter on the Game Boy, and you shot smiley faces, like straight up Walmart faces.
What?
It was
I
so
gotta
weird.
look this up.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, wasn't it like a first-person shooter?
yeah, it was first-person
Yeah, I
shooter.
know what you're talking about. But I don't know.
I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, you shot them. Yeah, that's right. I remember that game.
Yeah, it was a really freaking weird game, but Game Boy had some interesting moments. You know, I meant to bring it with me. I was going to show it to you because I mean, for those that are listening to the audio podcast, if you go to youtube.com/Xander Skullion, you can watch the video feed of this podcast. And I meant to show you, Anthony, what I got today in the mail. I got the NES controllers for the Nintendo Switch.
Nice.
And they are really nice. Man, I still have an NES controller. And so I took out the NES controller and the Switch NES controller, and man, it's like the same mold, same weight. It is perfect. The only difference is one's got a wire and the other one doesn't have a wire. And the wireless one on the Switch do have the shoulder buttons, so you can still navigate certain things. The only thing that I don't like about it is the only way to charge those controllers is docking it to your Switch.
Oh.
They don't have a USB-C plug, which is kind of hindering because since I got two of them, because you get two in a pack, I was going to use one for my Switch, and I was going to use the other one on my Raspberry Pi. That's what I was going to do, because you can sync it to your Pi. I was going to do that, but the only thing is now it's kind of, since it doesn't have a charger, I'll have to keep charging it on the Switch, and I'm like, man, I'm going to plug it back into the Switch. It's going to resync to the Switch console. I want to go through the whole resyncing back on the Pi. It's almost not worth it. But I'm glad to have them because I'll admit I hate playing like the NES games on the Switch, or even indie games do it too, where they make the controls actually B and A, and it's it's so awkward on a 4-button controller. So awkward. So but yeah, I mean that's been my life in a nutshell. Other than playing Resident Evil Village, which has been a lot of fun.
Are you gonna get the Super Nintendo one?
I might, because I do love the Super Nintendo controller.
Yeah, that's a good controller.
The NES had me sold because you get two of them, and I was like, man, this would be a great like nostalgia night when my girlfriend comes over, and we could play like Contra. She's a big Contra fan, so I can hook up the Contra collection and play it with the NES controllers. That'd just be a lot of fun.
That Contra collection's dope.
Oh yeah, I was playing the Castlevania collection with the controllers, and it was so much better playing it with an actual NES controller than the Pro controller.
What was I going to tell you? I saw you get on this morning, so that's why you got on this morning.
Yeah.
So what were you playing on the Super Nintendo? On the Nintendo Switch Online?
Oh, I was playing. I was just playing like Mario Brothers and Mario 3. I was keeping it simple with the new controllers. I'm like, I know what I'm doing, so I just went and started playing those. And so I did.
That makes sense.
The only thing I've been playing on Switch when I do hook it up is Pac-Man 99 and Pokemon Snap.
I've been playing fucking Pac-Man 99.
The game's freaking crack, right?
Yeah, you know what? I was so pissed yesterday. I made it number 2.
Oh man, see, I made it to number 3.
Yeah, I've made it to number 2, and some fucking cock blocker hit me with the red. I hate the red Pac-Man.
Yeah, the red ones are like the equivalent of like Mr. X from Resident Evil.
Fuck.
It just chases you down and you can't do shit. Fucking sucks.
You know what? I'll be honest. I've been mostly playing my Switch. I haven't really touched my PS4 in a little while.
I haven't touched my PS4 until Resident Evil Village came out. Resident Evil Village was the first time I had booted up my PS4 in a very long time. Now, I will say, other than Resident Evil Village, my girlfriend is actually she really likes Tekken. She's not a huge gamer, but she likes Tekken. And we were talking about Tekken one night. So one night she came over and I'm like, "Have you even seen like the new Tekken games?" Because she was talking about like the last one she played was like Tekken 5. Like,
Oh, damn.
I'm like, have you seen what Tekken is now? She's like, no. So I went and got Tekken 7, which I hadn't played that since the game came out. I had to reinstall it. It was like a 10 gigs install. I had to end up deleting a couple saves just to get that game working. And we played a little bit of it. She's like, oh, man, this got Devil Jin. And we both used the same main. We both used Yoshimitsu. It was freaking hilarious.
That's awesome. Tekken 7's great. I still play it. I haven't played it. Well, let me be honest. My controller for my PS4 broke. So I don't have a control. And they're hard to find for some fucking reason. I can't find PS4. They're the only ones they have on fucking Amazon that I found were goddamn third parties.
That's weird.
Yeah, I can't.
Because I don't think the PS4 controller is compatible with the PS5.
No, I don't know. Maybe it's just. You know what? Here's the thing. A lot of people are still playing their PS4s. I guarantee you Village has more sales on PS4. Because I haven't seen a fucking PS5 at all. Have you?
The only time I've ever seen a PS5 in person was a display at Best Buy.
But never on sale, though.
Never on the sales floor. I mean, a matter of fact, I just wrapped up an episode of Exodus Gaming Podcast the other day, and me and James were laughing at the gaming news, because with gaming news, the thing that people were all talking about was like, the PS4 outsold the PlayStation 5 in Europe. I'm like, no fucking shit, it outsold the PS5 because you can't find one anywhere. I mean,
exactly.
That's just common sense. Like, why is this even news? Like, what the hell? Like, no one can find this thing.
You know what my problem with the PS5 is that every game that's coming out is a rehash.
Well,
like, for example, Village is on PS4. I could play that now if I want.
Exactly. I was about to say, they're all like, there's really no like exclusives yet for the PS5, so there's really no reason to get one right now.
The only thing is the Final Fantasy VII Intergrade with the Yuffie, but is that even worth it?
Yeah. I mean,
I can even get that when I do get it. I mean, I'm really waiting for Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, that's really the only exclusive I can think of off the top of my head that I'm like, oh man, because I'm not dropping the money on a PS5 to play Ratchet and Clank. I don't give a shit about that. You know I love my platformers, but dude, I'm not spending like $500 so I can play Ratchet and Clank.
Exactly. And I just don't. I don't know. I just don't see any reason for a PS5.
Isn't it sad?
It's very sad.
This is the most pathetic and most saddest launch I've ever seen. Like, even you think about it, even the 3DO and Philips CDI, there were people out there, and then Atari Jaguar, there were probably people out there being like, holy shit, I need to go out and get this console.
Pretty much, yeah. Because they were technical marvels, but they didn't really play.
Yeah. But I mean,
own the 3DO, but we won't talk. We'll talk about that another time.
The 3DO, for what it is, has one of the best ports of Street Fighter 2, though.
Oh yeah, I had that port.
Yeah, that's.
And you know what? I'll say one thing: the soundtrack, the remix soundtrack that's only on that port, is fucking amazing.
So good.
I mean, that's probably. I hate to say this, but it's probably the best version of that soundtrack.
I always thought it was kind of funny with the 3DO is how it had the dongle for player 1 and player 2.
Oh yeah.
You had to hook player 2 into player 1, and then they came out with the adapter, especially with Street Fighter 2, they came out with the adapter where you could use a Super Nintendo controller on your 3DO. I always thought
what?
Yeah, but so you could actually use like an actual good controller for the best version of Street Fighter 2 on that console.
We'll have to talk about the 3DO another time.
I think that would be a lot of fun. I mean, I personally have never played a 3DO in person. I've seen them. I've never actually played one. I've played emulation 3DO. I've watched plenty of videos of it, but I've never actually like owned one or picked up the controller and actually played it. Never done that.
You know, I got one real quick in '96, and then I read that they were ceasing them. So I sold it to my friend for $200. Guess what I did? Went and bought a PlayStation. And that will, you know what? I do not regret that decision at all, because the PlayStation's still one of, if not my favorite console of all time.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Blame me on that.
But you know what? Real quick, the 3DO had some gems on it, though. I mean, it had more gems than the Jaguar and the CDI.
3O had like one of the best versions of Road Rash. Let's get that right.
Yeah.
Road.
And Samurai Sam Show.
Yeah.
Samurai Showdown. People forget that they had a port of Samurai Showdown.
Yep. Yep. Well, I mean, let's see. I know, right now as we're recording this, Castlevania season 4 is out on Netflix, and that's what I think. Me and you, Anthony, I think that's what we decided to do for our next episode. Is we're going to cover season 4 of Castlevania. I mean, I've heard, I haven't really heard anybody say anything bad about it, but then again, I didn't really hear a whole lot of people say bad things about season 3 either at first. But at first, but I will say this: I have had a couple of friends of mine who did watch season 4, and they're like, you know what? They're like, it's better than season 3, and I'm like, well, you really don't have to do much to improve with that.
But you know what? That's a funny thing to say, because you know what? When I heard, me and this guy were talking when we heard about the Disney merger.
Yeah.
And he I remember I told him, you know what? They're gonna be awesome. You know why? You can't get any worse than Phantom Menace. Boy, was I proven wrong.
Oh God.
Just letting you know, it's possible.
Yeah, that was like my girlfriend and I, we were going somewhere. I think we were going back to my apartment, and we were talking about Star Trek and Star Wars. She's a big Star Trek fan. And I was telling her, I'm like, I was like, say what you will about Star Trek and Star Wars. I'm like, Star Trek has so much far better track record than Star Wars. Like, Star Trek actually has a lot of stuff. And she was like, yeah, but they made Deep Space Nine, and that was horrible. And I'm like,
no, Deep Space Nine is fucking amazing.
I think that was the one she said. I think that's the one she said, and I'm about to get myself in trouble because if I had said the wrong thing and she listened to this show, she's like, I did not say Deep Space Nine. I said this.
Deep Space Nine is amazing. No, you know what though? I will say this. We'll say this. I don't know if you guys watched Picard, but Picard season 2 came out.
Mm-hmm.
They basically announced in the teaser that Q is coming back.
Oh wow! Holy shit!
I'm pretty pumped. Q is coming back.
But yeah, I mean, she said that, and I was like, well, Deep Space Nine is, if that's the one she said, now I can't fucking remember. But I was like, if that's what she said, I'm like, that's what she said. But I was like, it's no Last Jedi. Like, either way, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, pretty bad.
Let's bring back the Emperor because we're lazy writers.
Yeah.
We killed off the main bad guy already in the second one because we didn't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
Fuck those movies.
Hey, if you guys want to listen to a retrospective of our thoughts on Rise of Skywalker, you can go back to the archive episodes. I would love to hear our thoughts, a year ago with Rise of Skywalker, because now that the freaking honeymoon stage is over, I don't think I like it as much as I originally did.
I never had a honeymoon stage with that movie.
I had a honeymoon stage.
I did with Force Awakens. I was like, whoa.
Oh, yeah, me too.
But then it sunk in, and I like Force Awakens, the best one of those
the three, yeah.
But the problem with that one is it is New Hope 2.0. That's what it is.
It really is. It really is.
And then I thought about it. I was like, holy shit. Like, the more it sunk in. I remember telling you this way back in 2015. Remember?
Yeah.
You and I were on the chat, and I told you it just hit me. It's just beat by beat by beat by beat.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they go to a cantina. They, Han Solo,
Just so much. So much. Well, I'm trying to think what else we can talk about before we get into our Mortal Kombat discussion. This one's going to be interesting.
I've been playing Phoenix Wright.
Oh, I love Phoenix Wright. I haven't played Phoenix Wright in so long.
You know about Great Attorney?
Yeah, that's like the spiritual successor, right?
No, that's the prequel.
Oh, and
they're coming out on Switch though.
Oh, I didn't know that. I know on the Switch, a game I've been wanting to play that I believe is a visual novel is the Famicom, like Detective Famicom games.
Yeah, I'm gonna get those in the next couple days, hopefully.
I'm kind of interested in those myself.
And then we got SMT3 coming out.
Yep, crazy.
And you know what? They have a merciful difficulty because that game's a bitch.
It really is. It really is. I was about to say I still have my copy, but I just realized I don't have PS2 games anymore.
Oh
I
shit!
used to have it on PS2, and I hate that. What was really funny about SMT3 was before it got really popular. I remember like they had a copy brand new at GameStop that had the freaking plush. They had the plush with the game brand new that I was always there, and I always wanted to buy it because I always thought that looked cool, but I never did, and I ended up buying it used. And that game's hard. And I thought it was really weird that you could unlock Dante from Devil May Cry.
You know, if you buy the $69.99 version, you get the Dante pack.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, because you know you get Rido from the Devil Summoner series instead of Dante.
Hmm.
But you got to have Dante.
Oh yeah.
You know, Dante is a badass and all that. So, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know, I wonder, he would make a great character in a Mortal Kombat game, though.
Yeah. But not a good character in the Castlevania series like that rumor was around last year when they were wanting to merge the two universes. They're like, we want to make a Devil May Cry Castlevania. I'm like, the fuck no.
No, fuck.
That'd be so weird.
No, Castlevania has its own lore and its own.
Yeah, like just leave it alone. Leave it alone.
You know what? Every time we talk about it, I don't know why, but I'm just so fucking fond of Portrait of Ruin. I don't know why.
Because it's amazing.
I know a lot of people don't consider it the best one, but I just fucking love that game.
It's my favorite on the DS trilogy. That's the one I go to the most.
I agree with that. I think the weakest one is the what is it?
The Order of Ecclesia?
No, I like that one.
Oh, Dawn of Sorrow.
Yeah, Dawn of
The one
Sorrow,
you had to like draw the freaking designs when you fought the boss, and if you messed up, you had to do it all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah. Although its predecessor is great.
Yep, Portrait of Ruin. I mean, and that came out right at the, I believe that back then, I believe that was the 25th anniversary.
I meant Aria of Sorrow.
Oh, yeah, Aria of Sorrow was amazing.
Yeah, it's predecessor since Dawn of Sorrow is a direct sequel.
And because Netflix, when they talked about Castlevania, they said this was going to be the last season, and they're going to they're planning on maybe making another spinoff and making another Castlevania series. That would also be a good one as well if they did an Aria of Sorrow. They did that timeline. I mean, I know that's because we've talked about it in the last episode. You guys can check out that last episode where we talked about kind of our predictions if they were to make another Castlevania series on Netflix. And as much as people would love to see Simon Belmont, I personally don't really want them to do Simon Belmont because Simon Belmont was by himself. So you have all this creative control of people like Season 3 of Castlevania who, I mean, even Season 4 have a bunch of new characters. So, I mean, I don't like adding a bunch of new characters when you have characters that already have development.
Right.
So if they were to make Aria of Sorrow, there's a wide Prefla. Alucard's also an Aria of Sorrow, so he can make his little comeback, and everyone's like, oh yeah, Alucard's back. So they can do that, or they could do Rondo of Blood, bring back Richter Belmont and Maria, Alucard. They could bleed it over to Symphony of the Night, bada bing, bada boom.
Imagine if they took the Aria of Sorrow timeline, and then the first episode or the prelude is the 1999 battle.
Oh man. And they would have flashbacks. What if they had flashbacks of Rondo of Blood, of Symphony of the Night? Because, Rondo of Blood is when Richter Belmont, pretty much fucked up the Belmont timeline, lost the vampire killer. So that could be a flashback with since you got Alucard. Alucard could be like, oh man, I remember back in the day when I ran into Richter Belmont and he fucked up everything because, he got possessed by Shaft. They could do that. I mean, there's so much they could do.
I forgot Alucard's in the Aria of Sorrow timeline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's
like an agent or something.
Yeah. Yeah, which, in Season 3, when Alucard was involved in that freaking Game of Thrones scene, I thought when he met those two, like, brother and sister, I thought that's what they were doing. I thought they were building that, timeline for the future, being like, oh, this is how it all started. That was the beginning of how he became like that agent, years later with the government and vampires and supernatural. That's how it all started. It started out way back then when he was in secluded castle and shit, you know? That would have made so much more sense. So much more sense. But
Yeah, I agree.
whew, get me on some Castlevania. I need to save my energy for next episode.
Yeah, well, how about you get over here?
Yeah. Well, I have some notes here, and Mortal Kombat. Okay, this is what we're doing the episode on. We're talking about the new Mortal Kombat movie. Now, did you see Mortal Kombat in theaters, or did you watch it on HBO Max?
Both.
Oh. See, I watched it twice, but both times on HBO Max. I watched it one time by myself. Watched it another time with my girlfriend. My girlfriend actually fell asleep watching it because she was really tired. Then she ended up finishing it back at her house, and she texted me, and she was like, "So I finished Mortal Kombat," and I'm like, "So what'd you think?" I'll let you guys know about that when we get into this review. I'll let you know what she thought about it too. But okay, so first let's start talking about the plot. See, I have little categories here, so we don't get too crazy going everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the plot, because the plot itself is very, very different from not just the first movie, but Mortal Kombat lore in general.
But I liked how they did that, though.
Well, let's explain that. I mean, did you like the Mortal Kombat birthmark?
Mm-hmm. That didn't bug me too much. And I also like the fact that, it's the story before the tournament, and that they're planning, if should they make sequels, the first movie would be this one.
Mm-hmm.
Then we would get into Mortal Kombat proper, and then possibly into Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah.
But I really liked it because it was sort of the origin story.
It really was, and I love the beginning. I love the beginning with Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Yes, that beginning was amazing.
Can I just say one thing that made me laugh about it is the fact they both didn't really understand what the fuck they were saying to each other.
Yeah.
It was Scorpion anyway. Scorpion's like, I have no idea what you're saying right now. I'm like, I was wondering, I'm like, Sub-Zero was just talking Japanese to his wife and his son. Like, why didn't he start talking Japanese to Scorpion?
And it was probably condensation, being condescending.
Maybe. Because I was just
I don't know.
Yeah, because I thought Scorpion's like, I don't know what you're saying right now, but you're pissing me off pretty much. But I thought that scene was really cool. And then it goes into modern day, and then we get introduced to the characters, and mainly this new guy, Cole Young. Now, what did you think about Cole?
I thought he was interesting. They added an actual family man to the game, which none of those games have, except unless you get to Mortal Kombat 11 and 10 with Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade, and I forgot their daughter's name, but Cassie Cage.
Yeah, Cassie Cage.
Cassie Cage. But yeah, I liked him. He was an interesting addition with his family and all that, and kind of he had stakes.
Yeah.
And he was a washed-up MMA fighter.
Yeah, he was. Well, I mean, one of the things that kind of made me laugh about Cole was, they kind of hinted early on his connections with Scorpion, and it kind of made me think of the Power Rangers.
Oh yeah,
because it was everything he was around him was yellow and black. He had the book bag that had the yellow strap on the black strap, and then his daughter made him the necklace or the bracelet with the black and yellow. And the interesting thing about Cole is I feel like Cole was kind of the interactive character that would be your guide to the world of Mortal Kombat if you were not a Mortal Kombat fan. And what I mean by that is you weren't too familiar with all the characters and the lore and everything like that. He was kind of this is so-and-so, this is so-and-so, this is blah, blah, blah. Because you notice, every time Cole met someone, every single character introduced themselves and gave you a backstory of who they were. He was just kind of your Mortal Kombat guide.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. I like how it was made to introduce people. That's why I like this movie, because it was before the tournament.
Yeah.
And using him was perfect for before the tournament. Because if I would like them to make a sequel, and I don't know what they would do with the tournament, but that would be awesome.
Now, do you think that you think they're going to continue to use Cole for the next movie?
Yeah, because it leaves it open. He goes to.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Because who does he go looking for?
Johnny Cage. That's right.
Johnny Cage at the end.
But I mean, like, and the reason why I was asking that is I just didn't know if they were gonna, maybe pull a Johnny Cage Annihilation and just like kill him off. Next movie, just kill him off the first 5 minutes.
We never talk about Annihilation, please.
Here's the thing, okay? And I know I'm getting a little bit off my notes here, but it was something that pissed me off about the new Mortal Kombat movie with people, the fans, not the movie itself, but the people that didn't like the movie. And listen, I'm going to be talking about the things I didn't like about the movie, but when the people start talking about how much they hated the movie, they're like, I like the Annihilation better. I'm like, you're fucking bullshit.
Oh, no way.
Okay.
Are people really saying this?
There are people saying like, "Oh, I enjoy Annihilation better." I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
No. Look, when I saw that when it came out in '97. I was 14 years old, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I saw this piece of shit, fucking vile piece of shit, and I can even tell you that the Baraka masks, there was no proper makeup done. They were people in the Halloween masks. Remember that?
Yeah, I mean, even back then, I was a little younger. I saw that movie. I mean, that movie came out when Mortal Kombat was like the highest peak of popularity. Mortal Kombat 3 had just came out.
With Annihilation?
Yeah.
No, that was '97 when 4 was out. It was kind of when
I'm thinking about
Mortal Kombat was kind of waning a little bit.
I'm not talking about Annihilation. I'm talking about Armageddon. No, Armageddon, that was the fucking video game. I'm talking about the second movie. When the second movie came out, Mortal Kombat 3 had just came out because they had Motaro, they had Shiva.
Right.
Those Ermac, Rain fucking died quick as shit.
No. It was right around the time 4 came out, and then Mythologies, because I remember that.
Yeah.
The original came out around the time of the third game.
That's right.
Yeah.
You were right. All that shit started blending in because the Annihilation had Cyrax and all that shit, and that wasn't a good movie. Even back then, I was like, this is not a good movie. So
let's be honest, is the first one a good movie?
Oh yeah, first one's good.
It's entertaining, but I don't know if I would call it.
I now see, and this might be nostalgia. This might be nostalgia with me, but man, the first movie, so freaking good. Is it?
Go ahead.
I mean, it's not a perfect movie. It's definitely got its flaws, but I really, really liked the first movie. And I mean, if I had to compare the two, the new movie and the old movie, I still like the first one better than the new one that just came out.
I'm the opposite, because here's the thing with the first movie. I liked it. I still have nostalgia for it, but for me, even though I can watch it because of the nostalgia, but to me, it's just not a good movie.
Well, see, here's the thing. When you compare the old movie with the new movie, Shang Tsung in the original was much more menacing and badass.
That's true. Yes,
I felt like this Shang Tsung was pretty much a Power Ranger villain.
And there's a reason why they used that same actor for Mortal Kombat 11. Remember? You knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you think about Mortal Kombat 1, the original. Shang Tsung killed Liu Kang's brother, and it showed Liu Kang going through his trials and tribulations. So I'm like, you already have like this crazy ass sorcerer from Outworld that steals people's souls. Killed your brother. There was just so much more high stakes. This one right here, he just was trying to get all the other guys in the tournament killed so there wouldn't be another tournament. He's like, I just want the shit forfeit and let's go home.
Right.
And he felt like he felt like Lord Zed or something because he was like, "Ha ha, here's my next bad guy. This is my next bad guy. Here's Cabal," which I fucking loved Cabal in the new
Yeah.
movie. He was great.
And Kano.
Yeah. Oh gosh, Kano really did carry that movie. But here's the thing. Here's the thing about Kano. Kano pretty much was Johnny Cage.
I don't know. Go explain.
Okay, because Kano, all right, Kano's always had like a little bit of a sense of humor. We saw that in the first movie, in the original. But when I think of Johnny Cage, I think of like that borderline fourth wall breaking kind of just taking nothing seriously and being very egotistical, being very much about himself. And when you really think about that, that was Kano in this movie. He was pretty much Johnny Cage without being Johnny Cage.
I'll have to think about that one and get back to you next episode. I'm gonna watch it again. I liked the movie and I liked it. I was thoroughly entertained.
Now, was there a character that you didn't like in the movie?
Some of the characters were throwaways.
Yeah.
Like, they brought that Natara from Mortal Kombat Deception. Those
the
later
vampire.
Yeah, she was a throwaway. She was pointless. One thing that bugged me was I did not like that they killed Kung Lao.
Yeah, that was bullshit.
But I did like Liu Kang.
I did like Liu Kang. I thought the guy who played Liu Kang did a great job. I really liked Liu Kang, but you know what? They did something in this movie. They let it slip about how death is just another dimension. Now, one of the reasons why they said that is, in my opinion, so they can bring back people they killed in this movie.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing.
No, it's not.
Mortal Kombat games do that. Look at fucking.
Yeah, I mean, Liu Kang was a zombie at one time.
Well, look at it. How can I say it? Look at the new trilogy of games.
Yeah.
9, 10, and 11. Liu Kang is killed at the end of 9.
Yeah.
Then he comes back as a revenant. But then what I always liked about 11's plot was that it was his redemption story.
Yeah.
Have you played 11?
Yeah, I played a little bit of it, but unfortunately I had gotten it on the Switch, and it's not good on the Switch.
I have it on the Switch. I didn't mind it too much. They seem to have patched it up though.
Oh, really? Because when I played it was like the frame rate was like really bad.
Yeah, they patched it since then.
Okay.
It doesn't look as good as the PS4, but
yeah. I'll have to go back and play a little bit of it. What I was going to say too was getting into the cinematography of this movie. I know this is probably like the boring part. I thought it was a very beautiful movie.
Yeah, you agree.
I thought it looked great. I thought the fighting was great. I thought the fatalities were awesome. The only thing that I had a gripe with the fighting was the CG blood.
Yeah. Which time?
It was like any time that there was blood, it was just like it just always looked fake.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, it was just like I wish they would have mixed a little bit of practical effects with the CG blood. But it was like sometimes it was just like so much over exaggerated blood, which I totally get. It's Mortal Kombat. It's gonna be blood everywhere. But it was just like there were parts where like in the beginning where Scorpion's like killing members of the Lin Kuei. When he's like slashing and stuff, and the blood's just like, it's just like, it's just like, man, that looks good, but it looks kind of cheesy at the same time.
Yeah, I didn't notice it, but I'll watch it another time and see.
But and then of course we talked about Cole, we talked about him. Now let's talk about what we would like to see in the sequel. Okay. I mean, we know Johnny Cage is going to be in the sequel.
Shang Tsung's Island.
Yes.
References to it.
I'd like to see a good Shao Kahn too.
Yeah. I liked the only appearance Shao Kahn made was on that mural or whatever.
Mm-hmm. He was like in the painting.
Yeah. And they showed glimpses of that world.
Yeah. I would love to see that. I would love to see and they kind of hinted at it if you I don't think you noticed it, but towards the end of the movie, Sub-Zero, his gi, his ninja outfit started turning a lot darker.
Oh, Noob Saibot.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. I was just like, that would be kind of cool, and I would love to see, I'd love to see more like actual Scorpion. Like, I feel like Scorpion was a fucking summon in this movie.
Yeah, they might. Like I said, I think they're building up to stuff.
You know? Like, I would love to see a little bit more Scorpion and maybe throw some Quan Chi in that shit. That might be a little too much, but
I think that's the thing about this movie is driving some people up. It's a build-up movie.
yeah.
So hopefully it's successful enough we get a sequel. Because I think the sequel would be better.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely going to be making a sequel. This movie did great financially. It did really, really well. So that's definitely going to be a thing. And like I said, I would love to see the actual tournament. I'd love to see, I love the little Easter eggs they put in this movie. There were like little things they did that, longtime fans caught on to. I mean, there was a part where Sub-Zero is going after Jax, and if you look in the background, it shows the move set to do the freeze move that was on the wall. They had that in there.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, they did that. And, like little things like when Sonya was talking about Mortal Kombat, how she had the picture of like Nightwolf and, like this little things that they put in there. I would love for them to do that sort of thing for the tournament. In the next movie, like maybe have like a test your might part from the tournament, where they're like testing their might, and like it shows like two like no-name fighters like trying to break some shit, and one of them like ends up fucking up and dies from it or something. Like that'd be fucking cool. It's like test your might. He like punches through wood and there's like piranhas at the bottom or something. I don't know. Something like that'd be kind of cool. But I would really like that. Yeah, that's other than the tournament. What would you like to see in it, Anthony?
More Outworld, a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a more glimpse of Shao Kahn. His head appearing at the end, going ha 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 ha.
I'm Shao Kahn. I come for your souls. And before we get into the score. There is one thing I do want to mention that I want to say everyone needs to go out and watch right now, and I'm pretty sure you've seen it too, Anthony, because it's on HBO Max right now. It's only one season because it ended that shit in a cliffhanger. Mortal Kombat Conquest is on HBO Max.
Oh, that's right. And then they have that animated film from last year.
Mm-hmm. Which the animated film's really good.
Do you remember the animated film?
Oh, the Defenders of the Realm
with the shitty CG, and it never.
Oh yeah, it was a VHS. It was like the promo for the Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah, but it was It
was bad. It had like the really bad CG Mortal Kombat fights, and like really bad animation. It was like a 30-minute movie that was just a long promotion, being like, "Go see Mortal Kombat in the theaters."
But yeah, it told the same story. It was no side story, nothing.
Yeah, I thought you meant Defenders of the Realm, the television show, the cartoon. Luke Perry doing Sub-Zero, fucking Dylan from 90210.
What? I didn't.
Ron Perlman doing the voice of Scorpion.
What?
Fucking Hellboy.
Oh shit!
And then you know who did the voice of Raiden?
Who?
The bad guy from Highlander.
What?
Yeah, he did the voice of Raiden. I can't remember his freaking name right now to save my life, but the main bad guy in the first Highlander movie.
Clancy Brown.
Yes.
Yes, he's actually all over the place.
Yeah.
He's even going to be the main villain of the Dexter reboot. Well, not reboot, but the Dexter continuation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You ever watch that?
I watched a little bit of Dexter. I need to watch more of it.
Watch to season 4 and then stop. Or maybe you shouldn't because it's a continuation, but it has one of the worst series finale. That's why they're redoing a new final season.
Oh wow.
because it was. Let's just say it ended. They took the ending to Batman: The Dark Knight Rises.
Mm, that's sad.
Yeah,
Tragic.
and then basically I always joke, it's the origin story of the Brawny Tell guy because Dexter becomes a lumberjack and he's wearing exactly like the fucking the fucking checkered shirt and everything, and he has a beard. And I was like, he became the Brawny Tell guy. That's the story of Dexter, serial killer to mascot for paper towels.
All right. Well, yeah, we're reaching the end of the show, so we need to get into the score. Okay. So Anthony,
Wait, what did your lady say?
Okay. She. I want to hear your score first, Anthony.
I will give it a 7.5.
I give it a 7 out of 10. That's pretty much what my girlfriend said too. We were both.
We liked it. Go ahead.
We were both kind of like, it wasn't bad. Like, the first time I watched it, I'm like hitting my railing here. First time I watched it, I loved it. I loved it. I think the problem is I watched it the second time, and when I watched it the second time, that newness started wearing off, and I started critiquing it more because I knew we were going to do a review of it. So then I started watching it as a reviewer.
Oh shit.
So when I started watching it as a reviewer, I started like noticing the plot lines. I started noticing like little things like that's how I noticed that shit about Kano. I'm like, this is fucking Johnny Cage.
You know, funny story, real quick, and I can see your point about Kano too. But real quick, my grandfather, I had him watch it because I thought he would enjoy it, and he shut it off because he hates subtitles, and said he won't watch it. So one morning I couldn't sleep, so I got up and he said, "Let's give it another chance." So he got through that part, and then he loved the rest of it.
That's awesome.
But that's the thing, he didn't like the subtitles.
I know people that are like that. There are people I know that just do the subtitles is the bane of their existence.
Not for me, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, well, we watch fucking anime and foreign movies. I mean,
oh shit.
You know, like that's the thing. I know people that will watch the worst fucking dub of a show they've ever seen because they don't want to read while they're watching a movie. It's so weird.
Exactly.
It's true though. But I mean, yeah, my girlfriend thought the same thing when she watched it. When she finished it, she was like, you know, she didn't think it was bad. She was like, it wasn't bad. It just, you know, she was like, I watched it and that was it. You know, like she's like, I don't find myself wanting to watch it ever again. And I'm like, I might watch it like a year or two from now. Like maybe when the sequel comes out, I'll watch the original and kind of do a retrospective. But I mean, it's not one of those movies that like.
Right.
Unlike the first Mortal Kombat, like if I'm turning on the TV for some reason, like I have cable, I haven't had cable in fucking 25 years, but like say I turn on the TV and I'm turning on TNT and they're showing Mortal Kombat, I'll watch it. You know, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I'll watch fucking Mortal Kombat. This movie though, like I don't go out of my way being like, oh, I'm gonna watch this again.
I will. I liked it a lot. I don't know. Even though I gave it a 7.5, I think I can rewatch it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad movie. And for God's sakes, it's not as bad as some people make it. Some people make it sound like it was like the fucking Last Jedi of Mortal Kombat.
No.
You know?
God, no.
You know, that's the best way I can kind of describe it. Because I think some people are just kind of overreacting a little bit, you know?
Well, yeah. It's hyperbole.
Yeah, just trying to look like fucking intellectuals about a fucking Mortal Kombat. Get the hell out of here.
Shit, man. You know what? If you don't like the movies, just go play the games because they have. You know what? I'll be honest. I like the new trilogy of game storyline.
Oh, it's
10
so good.
is the weakest, but 11 I felt was awesome.
Yeah. It's good shit. Good shit. Well, for you guys that are listening. You know, I always love it when we have these opinionated episodes because I feel like we get a lot of good comments of people's different perspectives and different outlooks. And what for the folks that are listening, what did you think about the Mortal Kombat movie? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was okay? Leave a comment below. And also, if you guys are listening to us on Podomatic or iTunes or Stitcher or Spotify, leave us a review. It helps us with the show. It helps other people find our show. Really helps us out. And you can also listen to archived episodes on youtube.com/Xander Skullion while Anthony's holding a little dinosaur.
Well, no, it's a Tauntaun from Star Wars.
Oh, shit. I thought it was
He says, stick with the original trilogy. Fuck The Last Jedi. Because I get gutted. And I smell worse inside than outside.
That should have been the title of the episode. I smell worse on the inside than the outside. The Mortal Kombat review.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, guys, as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we'll be blasting off to the next episode.